Okay, had to make sure that the camera was working. All right, my name is Jen. I am the co-inventor of Seeding Square, your color-coded seed spacing for planting a vegetable garden. So this is a handy little tool if you're planting a vegetable garden, whether you're new, if you're planting with kids, whether you've got a big garden or a small garden, it works for all. So today we will be planting celery. So I am going to be planting seedlings as well as seeds, and the reason that I'm doing this is because when harvest day comes, oh, this is a mowed lawn. Okay, so when harvest day comes, you don't want to be pulling everything all up at the same time, because then you have, well, really, do you need 12 stalks of celery all at once? Probably not. So I like to do a combination of both seeds and seedlings as well. For example, here with radishes, I've got two different kinds of radish. So they will have different maturation rates. So it means that they'll just be ready, one will be ready a little sooner than the other. So that just makes sure that you don't end up with too much of food all at the same time. So that's a nice handy little tip for you. All right, so for the celery, okay, let me just make sure I got my lines here. So this, I press out, when you use your square, you press it into the soil, and when you lift it up, you can see it leaves a square foot impression behind, and that's what lets you line up and stamp out your next press and your next. So over here I did a row of carrots. I'm going to plant another row of carrots, but I'll do that after this video. And so for this video, we are doing celery. So that's for this row of carrots, and then here is for the celery. So you take your square, press it on into the soil, and then you look at your guide here. Now, your guide has listed on it, oh, I'm pretty close. I'm probably around 50 different types of vegetables by now. I keep adding to it. So when you're doing celery, you just look for whatever you're wanting to plant on here. Celery is in the yellow box. So that means that you will poke the yellow squares, or the yellow holes rather. And that gives you perfect spacing for celery. And it works for both seeds and seedlings. So super handy. All right, so what you do is you get your wand over here, and excuse me, there's a funnel too. So the wand and the funnel are great, the little extra tools. So when you poke your holes, you can put your funnel over top of those holes, and then there's a spoon on the end of your wand here. So you can scoop your seeds and put them in through the funnel. And so it's particularly helpful with the little seeds that do tend to like to go poof everywhere. So it gets those seeds where you want them to go, and doubly good if you are gardening with children, because they also have a tendency to let those seeds go poof. So, so your square here, so you press it on into the soil. Like I said, the celery was yellow, so we'll poke those yellow holes. So for this first round, we are going to plant the seedlings. So really what I'm doing is I'm just creating a marker, and that's just going to show me where I want to be placing each of those seedlings. So you just take your little shovel here, or your trowel, if you're wanting to be technical, as I probably should. Okay, so now here's my nice little celery plant. Let's get that weed gone here. So what you want to do is, when you see it's very root bound. So that means all the roots, they are all twisted around each other, and this looks like a nice healthy little guy here. So what you do, it's called tickling the roots. You kind of go in and mash them a bit. Don't worry, you're not hurting it. What this is actually going to do is encourage those roots to branch out into the soil rather than stay in that root ball. So so you want to tickle your roots. So now you got that nice little hole, and in it goes, boom, just like that. You just planted something. How cool. All right, next up, do it again. So you just take out, go where that hole was, dig out a little bit, tickle the roots, and in it goes. So yes, I may have forgot my garden gloves. I do that frequently. So after planting day, my nails don't look so great, but hey, what are you gonna do? All right, so there we go. Take the third one out and tickle, and in it goes. And so then we just keep doing that. So we got all 9, and so now I have two trays here of of celery. And so that's, if you're doing the math, you're realizing that, wait a second, if you're poking 9 holes per square foot and you've got 12 plants, what are you gonna do? Well, we're planting a garden. This isn't rocket science. What I just do is I just start the next square, and I put 3 of the seedlings in, and then I'll just finish off that square with seeds, and there we go. And then that square is still planted. It's just a staggered square in itself, so that's kind of cool. So in this goes. Ooh, I hope my family is up for celery, because it looks like we're gonna have a bit coming our way. All right, so in it goes, and it's okay. You can kind of, you know, push them around a bit, and it's okay. It's doesn't hurt them. If anything, a little bit of tough love on them encourages them to be stronger. So good on that. Okay, so there we go. 1 square foot of celery seedlings planted. So, because a lot of people, they ask me, well, with seeding square, is it only for seeds? And the answer is no, definitely not. You can use this for your seeds and your seedlings. It works for all. So now we'll take, so I can see where the line of my impression is left over from the last press. So then I go and I line up that next press. So I'm just going straight on down the row here. Press it on in, give it a smack, why not? All right, and then, so again, yellow holes. So something to keep in mind. Now remember I said when you're planting with the seedlings, it doesn't matter how deep you poke those holes because you're just, you know, stuffing in a seedling. However, in this case, because the front 6 are going to be with seeds, the depth of those holes does matter. So I'm gonna check the back of my package of seeds here, and it says, what does it say? I'm trying to speed read, it's not working. It's not saying. Okay, so here's what I do when it doesn't say how deep to go, or if I can't speed read properly. I put it in about a ½ inch. So what you do is you take your wand here and you pinch to the point you want that hole to go in. Make sure your square is flush to the soil, and then you poke that hole. Now, there's gonna be ups and downs and divots in the soil. That's okay. Just, it's kind of eyeball it. Just get it close enough, because the seeds are really forgiving. They can sprout right from the top of the soil, and they can sprout probably from, well, depending on the seed, but as deep as 2 inches down. They're very resilient. So, you know, as long as you're not like burying them down deep, they're probably gonna be okay. So, oh, now there have been some that have noticed this small little discrepancy, and cheers to those that did notice. When you look at the wand, you can see we got 4-inch increments. Really the top 2 you don't need. I just put them on there just to fill it out. But the first inch, you're gonna notice it is actually a little bit more than 1 inch, and we did that on purpose because, here, let me get these holes poked first before I lift it up. All right, so you will see the thickness of the square itself, we incorporated into that first inch. So there's about an extra, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch on this measurement, and that's to incorporate the thickness of the seeding square in it. So don't worry, we did know how to measure 1 inch. We got you covered. All right, so we've got this square pressed out. So the first 3 are going to be the seedlings, and then the other 6 are all going to be seeds. So there we go. We will resume our putting in of those seedlings. Dig the hole, tickle the roots, in it goes. Just like so. Actually, you know, probably even just, yeah, there we go. Don't even need the trowel. Look at that, you learn new things every day. Oh, and these little, I broke it, but these little tags, I encourage you to hold on to them. Stick them in your corner of each of those squares that whatever you're using it for, and then it just helps you remember what it is that you planted, especially if you're new, because as your garden's coming in and it's growing and you're like, wow, look at all these beautiful plants, what are they? And it can be a moment of frustration, because then now you don't even know necessarily if you're looking at a weed or if you're looking at, say, a radish. So it's nice to have those labeled for yourself. Another thing I do is as you can see, I've got my seed packs laid out all over my garden bed, and I take a picture of all of these layouts before I go planting my seeds, so then later on, if I need to refer to what exactly it is that I planted, I have a nice, quick, easy reference. Or some people use graph paper, or there's any number of ways. Whatever works for you, do that. All right, so next we have these 6 holes here that we're gonna be putting seeds into. Ooh, and I'm thinking these are really small seeds because this is actually a taped up package. All right, let's check it. Oh my goodness, they're like microscopic. All right, so what we're gonna do here, where'd my wand go? All right, so with the tiny seeds, I suggest you kind of go in there and I wonder if you guys can see this. I'm gonna see if I can.
Sorry to disturb you.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, I'm Gary.
Hi, Gary.
I'm just gonna be pounding through here, getting rid of all this grass.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
Yeah, I'll stay out of your way over here.
Okay. Can you give me about 2 minutes? I'm just filming a video at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna walk over into the back 40 if that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Gary is here to help me out. We did the Gary's awesome. We did the no mow May. We moved into this house and the lawn hadn't been mowed, I'm thinking, since about mid-March. So the grass is about yay tall, and Gary is here to help us out. Our property management company sent him over, so oorah. Thank you, team. All right, so hopefully let's get this video done before he starts that weed whacker up. So let me show you here. I don't know if you can see it in the spoon. There's tiny little seeds. So we'll just kind of carefully put in kind of 2 to 3 in each of those holes. And again, if you end up putting in slightly more than you should, it's okay. You'll just thin them out later. And there you go. There are 6 seeds in there. And the video is done, and we did it before Gary turned his machine on, so awesome. And this was a first take, so oorah. All right, thanks everyone for joining, and I hope you enjoy your seeding square and your gardening and however you do it. Just remember, enjoy yourself. It's a good time. If you want a seeding square, there's a link at the bottom of the page to my favorite Amazon things, of course, including seeding square. And if you decide to buy through there, I do get a commission, so thank you for that. And that's it. That's all. Have a good one, folks, and we'll see you for the next video.